Mr. Porter, the grocer, is gathering vegetables at Farmer Yumi's farm so he can sell them in his store. Some unexpected visitors surprise them. Bunnies are everywhere, and they're eating Farmer Yumi's carrots. Farmer Yumi calls the Paw Patrol. The pups are ready to help. We need to find a new home for the bunnies, says Ryder. At Farmer Yumi's farm, bunnies are popping up all over the place. Where are they coming from? Ryder asks. Let's dig in, Rubble says. He starts digging and finds the bunnies' tunnels. While Chase rounds up the bunnies, Sky brings kennels to transport them in. Attention all bunnies, Chase announces through his megaphone. We've brought cages with nice soft beds to carry you to your new homes. And inside each cage is a crunchy treat, says Sky. Sky flies the bunnies to their new home. Bye-bye, bunnies, she says. I'm going to miss you. The bunnies like their new home. They have lots of tasty flowers to eat. Back at the lookout, the Paw Patrol discovers that a bunny has followed them. I guess we can keep one bunny, Ryder says, and the team cheers.
Nickelodeon, Blaze and the Monster Machines, Zeg and the Egg. Smash, bash, crash. Zeg smashes, Blaze bashes. Then Zeg finds an egg. He does not smash it. It is a dinosaur egg. Blaze and Zeg must return it to its nest. Blaze and Zeg drive. Oh no! A big coconut blocks the road. Blaze uses a wedge. The coconut cracks. Zeg smashes. Blaze and Zeg go on. They drive into a canyon. Oh no! A volcano! Hot lava flows into the canyon. Water will stop the lava. Blaze uses his wedge to crack open a water barrel. Water cools the lava. Blaze and Zeg are safe. The egg must stay warm. Zeg wraps the egg in a blanket. Crusher grabs the blanket. The egg flies up. It lands on a mountaintop. Zeg zooms up the mountain. Big rocks fall. Blaze uses his wedge to break the rocks. Smash, bash, crash. Zeg and Blaze save the egg. Zeg and Blaze drive to the nest. The egg hatches. A baby dinosaur kisses Zeg. Hooray for Zeg and the egg!
Nickelodeon Bubble Guppies, Bug Parade. Molly and Gil were on their way to school. Oh, look, Molly said. It's a spider web. I wonder where the spider is, Gil said. Soon, a spider crawled out onto the web. There he is, Gil said. I'll name him Charlie. I bet he's trying to catch his breakfast, said Gil. Breakfast? What do you mean? Molly asked. When they're finished building their webs, spiders wait for flies to get caught in them. Then, ... they eat them. Come back later and see if he's caught anything, Molly said. Come on, Gil. Okay, bye, Charlie, Gil said. Good morning, Mr. Grouper, Molly and Gil said when they got to school. Boy, have I got a treat for you kids today, Mr. Grouper said. What is it? The class asked. We're going to be in a bug parade, Mr. Grouper said. Grab some costumes. The bug parade is about to begin, Demas said, pretending to be a reporter. There are marching ants, flying balloons, and lots of floats. Charlie the spider was watching from his brand new web. Nani marched in the marching ants marching band. He danced like he had ants in his pants, but the ants were in the band. Una the ladybug rode on a float covered in flowers. Even Bubble Puppy was dressed up as a grasshopper. What a hoppy puppy! Goby the dragonfly flew all around the parade. He was flying so fast, he was passing everyone. The class had seen a horsefly, a housefly, and even a dragonfly. ... But they'd never seen a bubble guppy fly. Molly and Gil were bugging out on the spider float, especially when they discovered that spiders aren't insects, they're arachnids. Just then, the wind picked up. Some of the big bug balloons were flying away. A crab tried as hard as he could to hold on to his fly balloon. It was no use. The fly balloon was flying away. The fly balloon was headed right for Charlie's spider web. Molly and Gil sprang into action. They used ropes to make a giant spider web between the balloon and Charlie's web. The spider web caught the fly balloon just in time. Charlie and his web were safe. Swinsational! The guppies rushed to Charlie's web. "Are you okay?" Molly asked him. Charlie quickly moved around his web to make a heart out of silk for his friends. "Aw, you're welcome, Charlie," Gil said. The bug parade was saved.
Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol, Marshall to the rescue. It was an exciting day at the lookout. A flock of geese was flying south for the winter, and the birds were going to stop at the lookout for a rest. To welcome them, Rocky had built a big nest, and Rubble used his shovel to fill it with yummy bread. Marshall ran over. He was so excited, he accidentally tumbled into the nest. "The geese are coming!" he shouted. The rest of the team came down from the lookout to greet the flock, too. The geese landed and immediately started pecking at the bread. One tired goose happily settled into the nest to relax. "He likes your nest," Ryder said, patting Rocky. But a baby goose wandered away from the rest of the flock. He waddled into a blue bucket and rolled down a hill. "I'll get him," Marshall announced, racing after the bucket. As he ran down the hill, his feet got tangled. Marshall and the goose ended up bouncing down the hill. When they reached the bottom, they were both a little dizzy. "Are you okay, fuzzy little guy?" Marshall asked. "Cheep, cheep," the goose replied with a nod. "Hey," Marshall exclaimed, "Fuzzy is a great name for you." Marshall took Fuzzy back to the lookout, where he introduced him to the rest of the Paw Patrol. The little goose liked all the pups, but Marshall was definitely his favorite. Sky chuckled. Marshall, it looks like you have a new BGFF. Best goose friend forever. For the rest of the day, the two friends did everything together. When Marshall tripped over his dog bowl, so did Fuzzy. When Marshall washed his fire truck, Fuzzy polished the window with his feathers. Until Marshall accidentally washed him with his hose. "Sorry, Fuzzy," said Marshall. When it was time for bed, the two friends snuggled together under the stars. Just before dawn, Fuzzy woke up. He was hungry, so he wandered off, looking for food. Marshall woke up later and couldn't find the little goose. He was worried, so he went to Ryder. Ryder called the Paw Patrol to the lookout. "Our geese friends have to fly south for the winter," he explained. "But they're missing one little goose. If we don't find Fuzzy fast, they'll have to leave without him. Chase, I need you to call Fuzzy with your megaphone. Marshall, Fuzzy would follow you anywhere. I need you to help look for him, too." Outside the lookout, Chase called to the lost goose. Marshall sniffed the ground in search of clues. He found one of Fuzzy's feathers. Ryder picked it up, and Chase took a whiff. "Achoo!" Chase sneezed. "Sorry, I'm a little allergic to feathers." He took a few more sniffs, sneezed, and announced, "He went this way." Ryder, Chase, and Marshall jumped into their vehicles and followed Fuzzy's trail into Adventure Bay. The team searched all around town, but they couldn't find Fuzzy. Suddenly, Marshall heard some chirping high above them. Fuzzy was on the roof of the train station. He had a piece of bread in his beak, and some seagulls were trying to take it. "Pick on someone your own size," Chase shouted at the bullying birds. "Fuzzy, fly down here," Marshall called. But Fuzzy couldn't fly down. "A plastic soda can ring is wrapped around his wing," Ryder said. "Marshall, quick, use your ladder to help get Fuzzy down." Marshall was on it. Marshall extended the ladder on his fire truck, which scared away the seagulls. As he started to climb up, Fuzzy tried to run to him and fell. Marshall quickly held out his fire helmet and caught the little goose. "Sweet catch, Marshall," Ryder cheered. Back on the ground, Ryder carefully removed the plastic ring from Fuzzy. The little bird was free. He could fly again. The Paw Patrol raced back to the lookout. They had to get there before Fuzzy's flock flew away. But they were too late. The geese had just left. Fuzzy would have to flap fast to catch up to them. Fuzzy didn't want to go, and Marshall didn't want him to leave either. "A little gooseling belongs with his family," Ryder said. Marshall agreed, and Ryder quickly came up with a plan to return Fuzzy to his flock. "Let's take to the sky!" Sky exclaimed as her helicopter zoomed into the air, pulling Marshall along in a harness. "Come on, Fuzzy!" Marshall shouted. "Time to fly with me! Flap, flap!" The baby goose wanted to follow Marshall. Fuzzy flapped his wings, rose from the ground, and flew into the air. Marshall, Sky, and Fuzzy could see the flock in the distance. Fuzzy flew as fast as he could until he finally caught up with his family. He chirped goodbye to Marshall. "Goodbye, Fuzzy," Marshall called with a teary sniffle. "Have a safe flight, you silly goose." Back at the lookout, the pups played jump rope. "You guys did an awesome job today," Ryder said. Marshall missed Fuzzy, but he knew his little friend would visit whenever his family flew overhead. Until then, he had his possum pup pals to keep him company.